Every 5 years or so, the government updates their dietary guidelines, and the new ones came out in February of 2016. And what's interesting about these to me is that they've backed off on some of their previous recommendations. And in fact, the most significant one, I think, is that they've backed off on their, what they said 40 years ago about low fat, make everything low fat. Now they're saying that fat is probably not a nutrient of concern, is how they phrased it. So go ahead and start introducing more fat into your diet, especially plant fats. Saturated animal fats, maybe not so much, but coconut milk, coconut oil, avocados, those fatty plants can give you a greater feeling of satiety. And on top of that, your brain is mostly made of fat, and your cell membranes are mostly made of fat. So if you don't get an adequate amount of fat in your diet, you can get brain fog, and you can get all kinds of craziness that goes on with having too low fat of a diet. And the other problem with the low-fat diet recommendations of 40 years ago was that food manufacturers, when they took out the fat, automatically put in more carbohydrates. And I don't know, look around you. In the last 40 years, we've gotten overweight, obese, and more diabetes than ever before. Why? Because when you eat a lot of carbs, especially the sugary kind of carbs or the starch carbs that turn into sugar, then your insulin kicks in, and the main job of insulin is to put fat into your cells for future reference, for when you need it. And we don't need it anymore. We eat plenty. We don't have periods of starvation. So the fat just builds up on us, and it's not good for us. And certainly diabetes has all kinds of negative consequences that we would like to avoid as we age. So eating more fat and less carbs is a good combination, unless those carbs are like leafy greens, some of the vegetables they're carbohydrates, but they're not sugary carbohydrates. So I've started to introduce a little bit more fat into my diet, and amazingly, I've already dropped like 8 pounds in the last couple of months that I've started to do this, because my metabolism is working more from fats than from carbs. And that's how it really should be if you want to be mean and lean. So I just wanted to let you know that it's okay to eat a little more fat than maybe you've been for the last 40 years. So don't look for low-fat products, because low fat on the label just means more carbs, and the carbs are the things that are causing a lot of the diabetes and the overweight. So that's all I wanted to tell you for today, and I hope this is useful information. Be bold, eat a little more fat. It won't kill you, especially if it's plant fat like avocados, coconut. Try to stay away from the refined vegetable oils. They tend to imbalance your omega-3, omega-6 ratio. I'll have to talk about that in another video. So that's it for today, and I want you all to be well. Thank you.